Welcome back to 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim spoiler playthrough. I am your host, Hemborg Chariot, and I am here with my best friend, Mirth Meowser.
Hello, hello, hello! We are in a much better mood now since we started Juros and actually remembered what good writing is in this game.
See, even he agrees.
And very excited to get more of it because Juro's route is great.
So now we want to eavesdrop on Sawatari.
Minami-san suddenly showed up at my house, and then brought over Miyuri-kun out of nowhere, as if I didn't have enough problems with Yakushiji around. I always dreamed of living on my own. So much for that.
He really did not sign up for this harem with all these girls and boys.
Amiguchi-kun's not there. He's probably at the cafeteria.
Thanks for making my life easier, man. Cool. Let's grab our stuff and head over.
Yeah, I was totally looking for Amaguchi and not talking to Megami.
Do you need... Usami-chan. But first, I'll take a peek at Amiguchi-kun. Okay, that's a little creepy. If you're looking for him, I just saw him by the vending machines. The break area? Yeah. Crap. I gotta get going.
The vending machines!
There are drink vending machines at the break area. It's located at the corner of the schoolyard. If what Fuyusaka-san said was right, we should be able to find Amiguchi-kun there.
I guess it's about that time.
I just got Miyuki Inaba's new album on tape.
Alright, Shiba, we found where he is.
I'll let you borrow it when I'm done.
Didn't you
Alright,
want to go to
fine, we're gonna
Amiguchi-kun's
leave
house?
without you.
Whoops. This is no time to be reading comics, huh? Let's head to the cafeteria. If we're too slow, we'll lose him.
There we go.
Hey, I think I know where Amiguchi-kun is. He's probably outside at the break area.
Huh? You mean that place with the vending machines? Let's check it out. We've got to get to the break area. If we're too slow, we'll lose him.
Can't lose him again. We've lost him too many times before.
Find out where Amiguchi is. Oh god.
We've got to
Megami.
get to the break area. If we're too slow, we'll lose him.
Juro, you'll be home for dinner, right?
And
I'll
he
cook
pulls out a
something
book.
for you.
Hey, watch what you're saying. We're still at school, and Shiba-kun's here.
Notice how she
Shiba-kun's
doesn't
really
question
getting in
that.
the way here.
I mean, he's literally in between you two.
Yep.
I should make him check the classroom for Amiguchi-kun again. That'll get him
And
off my
again,
back.
this compliments Shiba's kind of
It's
personality
too
that
hard to talk to her with Shiba-kun around.
he's always crying when
Hey,
Juro's
Shiba-kun.
talking to
I
girls,
know we
so it
couldn't
builds
find
up.
Amiguchi-kun earlier, but
When we
what
get
if
to
he
this-
went back to his classroom? Maybe you should go check one more time.
Good point. You never know what that guy's up to. I'll take a look.
We've gotten constant examples of Shiba-kun prying Juro when he's talking
Well,
to
that
girls.
changed nothing.
So when he's trying
That
to
still
have
wasn't
a
there.
not awkward conversation with that Megami, he's like, I can't talk to Megami. Shiba-kun's gonna bug me again. You know, to naturally incentivize that he can't actually talk to anyone else.
Oh my god, it's Okino.
Oh, you know, what's he doing here?
There you are, my little arcade.
That 1,000-yard stare. I think that this screenshot alone
My
of
favorite drink is
Amaguchi
sold
right
out.
there says so much about him.
It says it's out of change?
Like he's not even
Never
listening to
seen that
music.
before.
He's just lost in his own thoughts.
Amiguchi-kun.
And he immediately snaps.
And Okino
it's like-
leaves.
Like just he turns back on the switch.
What's up?
Could we hang out again today?
You got it. Let's see. Why don't we go to your place this time?
Wait, Juro's place? No.
Shiba is so natural.
Don't you have the place to yourself right now? I want to check it out.
Uh-oh.
The smoothness of that voice, though.
I know, his voice is buttery smooth. Also, I
It's
wish
true
I was...
my grandma's away visiting relatives, but
Sorry, what were you about to say?
I was just like, I wish I got to comment when Juro was saying his favorite drink was out. I would have made a comment like, ah, yes, the 80s is like the special 80s energy drink is out. You can't get rid of your squip just yet.
Oh my god. I can't believe we're referencing Be More Chill on this channel. Oh god, what are we gonna go with next? Megami in the bathroom at the party?
Oh no!
Yeah.
I'll make the reference again when the reveal happens.
I had a fucking musical theatre phase in high school, and Be More Chill was one of my favourites, because Michael is so gay. I mean, he's so gay, just look at him.
Yep.
Didn't they literally canonize it in the Hollywood version? Or something?
What?
Like, he wears a
I don't
pride
know.
patch now?
Actually don't know. I'm more familiar with just the musical version. All the ripped musical version with the original actors before they changed some of them.
Yeah, I prefer the original one.
That's what I'm most familiar with.
I don't think I ever got to see a slime tutorial in full for them, which is unfortunate. For those who don't know, a slime tutorial is the joke title that we give to bootleg musicals on YouTube so that they don't get taken down instantly.
Right.
So,
right,
for
right.
example, a slime tutorial on American politics is probably for Hamilton, or a slime tutorial on murdering your best friend is probably for Heathers the musical. Or like every other High School Musical.
It's been a hot minute since I heard those titles. I forgot that it's like that phrasing.
Yeah, good old slime tutorials. Gotta love them.
I had to make that reference. I mean, that's basically what Shiba is. He lives in his brain. He controls basically his memories and thoughts and his perception, and he's functionally the same thing.
But did Juro set a fire?
Huh. That is the question.
His TV's a piece of junk.
well, right now I have a guest staying over. Things are a little awkward, so
I love how when you look closely at this conversation, it does function with only Juro and Shu talking here, but they so naturally fit in Shiba's lines that you don't suspect anything.
sorry. It's just not a good time.
Well, alright. Let's go to my place then.
That's my man.
Thanks.
And they just kind of slip in, especially with
Time is
how
money.
Shiba was
Let's
saying,
go
like,
already.
you need to ask Amaguchi, kind of giving the idea that, Shu is more Juro's friend than he is Shiba, because, I mean, typical Shiba, not, so you don't suspect otherwise.
The main thing that
Like,
does confuse me is the fact that only Juro can see Shiba, but like, Shiba can make himself visible to other people via Megami.
That's a good point.
I guess it's because he doesn't want to be discovered, because he's already been discovered by people at this point, as Erika Iba, who gets trashed before this. Yeah, 426 jumps into the Hisaragi android near the start of the current loop, who then jumps into the Tamao android, who becomes Erika Iba in Yuki's storyline. And then at the end of that, they escape, he almost dies, but he manages to implant himself into Juro's nanomachines, which makes Shiba. So they already know about 426 at this point, and I imagine the reason why he's only showing himself at Juro is because he's easily manipulatable, and they're just hoping that people don't notice.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, that makes the most sense. He's quite literally hiding in Juro's head. And just very carefully pushing him in the right direction. I mean, I think he even says as much later that, you know, Juro's mind is kind of scattered and he's trying to focus it. Also, you know, they're side by side. You're not questioning that whether or not Shiba's there or not, and yet it would still work even if he wasn't there. It's just Shu waiting for Juro to catch up.
Three bros chilling in the break area, 0 feet apart, because they're really
very
like sci-fi
gay.
movies. Okay, but imagine writing Shiba as just another of the guys, though.
It's already 7 o'clock.
When I got to the twist with Shiba, I actually went back
can't
specifically to rewatch this scene because, like, I need to know how they did it because I was like,
can't
how can he
see.
be fake? He was there. He was talking to Shu,
can't
and then I
see.
watched it, and I was like, oh no, he
I
wasn't.
can't see.
I love that
Also
standing in
this.
front of the TV pisses him off.
I can't see.
I love that detail so much.
Man, Amiguchi's place is the best. Any game you want to play, he's got it. He really is a rich kid, huh? I'm jealous. Ah, crap! Don't talk to me right now. You'll break my concentration. Ah, just one more, okay? I need to try that again. If I die this time, I'll switch with you.
And subtly, Jiro's not talking
I can't
to him.
see.
Yep. Because he's so
said you
focused
wanted
in
a
his
drink,
video
right?
game. He's like, don't bother me, I'm playing. Such a good characterization. How do you do this? Like, how do you do this so seamlessly?
The only thing that confuses me is how Shiba is playing video games. How is the video game being played?
It's not on. When you get to Shu's route, you see this scene. The TV is not on.
Oh, right! Yes, okay. I'd forgotten about that, sorry. Yep, cool.
And it's like it's such a stark contrast because like I played this scene before, and now the TV's not on. There's not the video game music. There's not Shiba. It's so obvious what is missing from when you first saw this, and it's great.
You cool with soda?
Thanks,
And then it
Amiguchi-kun.
hits you just how natural their conversation is, even though Shiba's not in here from Amaguchi's perspective. Nope, didn't work. Shiba's still there.
Oh, that sunset.
You must have the new. You must have the newer flavor. We need the old one, Amaguchi.
It's getting dark. We should probably go get dinner soon.
Being the Switch version, there aren't achievements, but one of the few not just story progression achievements in this game is drinking all of the different drinks from vending machines and shit. Which
Oh, really?
you can technically not do it. I just did it naturally because I was like, is there going to be any unique dialogue, and then ended up getting the achievement. But like almost all of the achievements in this game are finish the prologue, 50%, and the full story for each of the routes. And that's already most of them. Then it's like, finish the game, platinum, get a high score in destruction, do destruction without anyone dying. Like, most of them is shit that you're basically guaranteed to get. The drink one is like the only one, I think, that there is actually a reasonable expectation of you not getting.
I think so. Yeah. Like I got the
At least if
platinum
you're not,
pretty easily.
at least if you're not inquisitive like me and wanted to see all of the different drinks.
I mean, I do that
coming,
with
right?
RPGs anyway, so
My
it works
treat.
out.
It's getting dark. We should probably go get dinner soon. You're coming, right? My treat.
You already
My
paid for my
treat.
ramen last time. I feel kind of bad.
Then what? You want to call it a day?
I can still tag along. I'll just pay for my own food.
Damn. That means I've got to pay too.
Chiming in. It's so seamless. I have seen this scene like a few times at this point, and I'm impressed every single time.
In general, you can apply that to like any scene that Shiba is in. It's just very
This-
impressively written.
It is, but this one is exceptional.
Oh.
Like, they're all
Did you
very
watch the
impressive,
video?
but especially this one.
Hey, I'm not gonna ignore a friend's recommendation.
Did you already finish it? What did you think?
Kind of a campy plot. You've got this mad scientist who loses his real body, so he builds a new body and sets out, bent on revenge. It was interesting, but definitely not for casuals.
Game's
For
casuals.
a B movie? That just proves it's a masterpiece.
That's all. A mad scientist creates a new body. I wonder if that has anything to do with Tetsuya Ida.
We may never know.
I can't see.
I still love that.
I can't see.
Whoa.
What's up?
Just learning something about you. I figured you were only really into Western music. Never thought you'd be into the idol scene. Miyuki Inaba. She's been really getting big lately, hasn't she?
Amiguchi has canonically wide music tastes, so if I ever want to write a fanfic that's got a lot of music in it, Amiguchi's gonna be important to it.
I mean, you know how it is. Just got curious. I'm getting hungry. Did you want to just grab dinner and go home?
Actually, do you think I could stay a little longer? I'd really appreciate it.
My cat Fluffy
Again,
is
'cause his
being
home
very
life is
adorable
awkward.
next to me. I named my actual cat after Fluffy from this game, and he's lying on his back, presenting his
Aw.
tummy to me, pretending that he's not going to scratch the shit out of me if I try to pat it. He's even perking up as I call him out on it. He knows. He understands.
He's laying
That's
a trap.
right.
And
I
he's
know how evil
disappointed
you
you're-
are. And now my audience of 0 people know how evil you are as well. Oh, my dad's going for it. My dad's risking it.
Oh no. And there's the claws.
Yep, there's the claws. There's the claws.
Called it.
I love my cat Fluffy, he's great. He was originally going to be named something fucking terrible. My dad was going to name him like Woof or Mufasa or something. And I vetoed that so hard and just came up with the first thing I could think of. And I happened to be like halfway through this game on my first playthrough, so I went, fuck it, Fluffy.
Fluffy's a great character, so
And
I
then-
have no...
And then my Fluffy ended up being just as evil as this Fluffy.
As they all
My old
are.
man's probably at his mistress's place again. And I'm all by myself here. Stay as long as you want.
Thanks.
Stay as long as you want. No, seriously, don't leave. We can share the same bed.
We'll make it work.
Say, any specific reason you don't want to go home?
Okay, I know it's not that, but you can definitely reinterpret this line in other ways that make it gayer.
Oh, there's many ways you can write these lines to fit into all your fanfics.
Well, the person I'm living with is,
She's
I
pushy, I
can't
don't
put
like
the blame
it.
on her. I'm the one with the problem. If I'm around her too long, I might...
Ooh.
Anyhow, want to get food?
I know it's not what he makes it sound like, but it is written that way
We're
to
leaving.
put you off the
Hold on,
scent
I'm almost done.
until you get the reason why.
I can't
Especially
see.
building off when he was like, puberty exists.
We could swing by the video store, pick up something new to watch.
Oh, speaking of, before I forget again, here you go.
Is that the sequel to that sci-fi flick? All right, let's check it out when we get back. We can watch it together.
We can watch movies together in the 1980s vibes.
Videotapes and chill.
I'm gonna have to pass.
Oh, not in the mood for horror?
That's not it.
Existential
Sorry,
horror.
It's just,
The best
I
kind.
think I've been watching too many movies lately.
My favorite horror is psychological. That's why I love shit like Zero Escape.
I'm getting kind of scared. I keep having weird dreams.
Again?
Expression on
Did you
again.
have another crazy dream?
There it is.
What happened?
Oh,
to
I
that?
love that expression.
In the
It's
dream,
just gentle concern. I love it.
I went insane. I killed everyone around me, including Fuyusaka-san. And you.
The shaking in his voice in that line, it's really subtle, but it's very well done. I love it.
Like, he's horrified by it. Like, utterly horrified and disgusted.
Yakushiji too. So now I feel anxious whenever she's around. I'm
And
scared.
now we have the follow-up to why he's uncomfortable around her.
I might
Besides
end up
the obvious.
actually killing her.
And then we get the scene that I spent the entire playthrough trying to figure out where it fell in the timeline.
Oh, this is a juicy one. So this
Stop, please.
this is one loop ago.
One loop ago.
This is one loop ago. This is 426's first attempt to try and stop the decode, because at this point, they discover that there's a code inside all of the people that is bringing the Daimos here, or rather, essentially activating the video game code in the simulation. So his theory is, well, kill all of them? Because as long as they kill all of them, the code can't still be transmitting, right? And then it doesn't work, which is why he changes his mind in the current loop and goes for new fucking ways. Instead of trying to reject the video game, he says, let's go full video game and actually activate its systems with the meta chips and shit. Which is just... God, I love that as a concept. It's so well done. And the scene where they reveal that meta chips are like real is my favorite scene in the entire game.
I'm not quite sure I remember that scene. I'll have to keep an eye out for it.
It's very late in the game, so we'll get to it in quite a long time, but I am gonna fangirl so hard on that scene.
You killed everyone. How could you do such a thing?
Similarly, I think there's a lot of parallels between 426 and Sekigahara, in that both of them are very... Well, I think it's Sekigahara and a lot of the adult characters in general, who are all too clingy for the past and wanting to maintain what the past did, and they're not willing to take the new, dangerous, adventurous paths in life. And I think that's one of the bigger themes of this game, is the cycles of failure from leaning too traditional and maintaining past's values where they're no longer applicable. If we take risks and accept the future with open arms, we can do incredible things that advance society and advance civilization and really fix all of this shit. And I think that's just something that Sekigahara and a lot of the adults really communicate well, in a way that most of the other characters aren't quite as focused on. Because this game has a lot of different themes that it's working with.
A lot of them. Like, one of my favorite themes of the game is the lasting consequences from natural human error, because humans are not perfect creatures. Like, even the most well-intended people can unintentionally make missteps and mistakes that can have drastic consequences that everyone after you just has to live with. And it's not fair. It's not, these evil people planning your downfall. It's just is like human beings leaving behind a mess for other human beings that don't deserve what they get, that have to deal with it. And again, these consequences are very set in stone. They're real. Juro doesn't want to kill all these kids. It's like, this is not what he wants to do. And yet this is what he feels like he has to do, because this is the situation that he feels like he's being forced into it. And afterwards he has to face the consequences of the horrible actions he's committed. This is human error, that led this Juro to this situation that led him to the actions he's about to commit, that led to Amaguchi, or rather Tetsuya Ida, should I say, turn into the man he is. It's just very real and grounded human mistakes piling on top of each other. And that's why I say there's not very many characters you can point to as being a traditional antagonist, because they all have very real emotions that pull them in the way they do. And that's a theme I love, that this game really gets, that human error can stack on top of each other. And it's like, and it's a tough cycle to break. It's a beyond difficult cycle to break. It's a thing that the 2188 versions especially get right, because very few of those characters are what I would call bad people. They just, it's like they either don't know what they're doing, not realizing what they're leaving behind for everyone that's coming forward, and then they have to try to clean up best they can so that everyone coming after can do better. Like, consequences it's like our actions have consequences, and this game really gets that.
So,
it's why I'm a little critical of the epilogue wrapping up as cleanly as it does, because most of the game is so solid.
I think that's fair. One interesting thing to look at is this Shu Amiguchi that we see here is our Tetsuya Ida. This is the the Tetsuya Ida of one loop ago, which is our Tetsuya Ida. So he is seeing 426 try to kill them all, and is developing an extremely negative bias because of that, to the point where he's willing to lie about other crimes that he committed.
And like, it's hard to blame him, because he's seen this man kill everyone he knows. And as far as he knows, it's like he knows he is responsible of the death of Usami, or at the very least, it's not hard for him to make that jump an assumption, or at the very least, want to blame her death on him, even if it's not the guy's fault. Like, it's very hard to blame Ida for, like, despising everything that 426 is for what he is literally doing right now.
You came to the future for this? Whatever happened to protecting us?
Ida, we had it all wrong. The
That's
true
been
cause of this
discount.
disaster was you.
What?
It's your nano machines. You all have them. That's what's calling the Deimos here. As long as you kids are alive, the hordes will keep on coming until they've destroyed all time and space.
You're lying.
That's a very particularly worded way to communicate that idea. Destroying all time and space. I mean, sure, they're gonna destroy the sectors. That is technically true.
I mean, it's all their time and space, technically. The way he said time and space, he sounds like so... like every human emotion in him has completely died, and he killed it so he could force himself to do this unspeakable act. Like, just the way he says time and space really sells it.
As long as you kids are alive, the hordes will keep on coming until they've destroyed all time and space.
You're lying.
I'm sorry. This is the only way.
No. No.
I'm sorry, Yakushiji.
It's unflinching
Pain will
face.
only last for a moment.
You really feel that he's killed himself inside to do this.
It's too late to back out now.
And he's already started, he can't just quit.
I
Yeah.
must kill my doubts and finish the job.
He's already
In order
killed
to
all these
escape
kids.
from
He
this
has
eternal
to
cage.
keep going. Eternal cage.
It must be done.
The cause of this? was us?
You're persistent, Ida. Don't worry. I'll put you out of your misery.
My God. What have you done, Juro?
I'm sorry. I was taking it so seriously, and then they're just flapping about.
Where's the wound? Let me see it.
This
Like big old water balloons.
was all for you. Morimura.
To be continued. A relentless nightmare. So we obtained one mystery file. And we can't open it. Cool. Are there any characters to do yet? No.
To ask though, since he's killing them all, why isn't the system kind of recalling them like they did when Tamao and Okino died, quotation marks? Because maybe I'm misunderstanding how it works, but they can't actually die until the loop resets.
Well, they're killed in the simulation, and Universal Control recognizes that they are dead and removes them from the simulation, but they are still being maintained by their growth pods.
Yeah, which is why, Okino and Tamao, their bodies disappear in the simulation, but their bodies aren't disappearing in this. I get that would be a huge spoiler to do. I do get that, but I'm just pointing that out. And I'm actually just kind of wondering why the system isn't doing that for them.
Maybe because they haven't quite died yet?
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
There's no...
Again, the lore made a little bit more sense to me when I thought they were all literally trapped in a cage. It's like, rather than, well, it's a computer.
Well, there's no real reason to believe that they have to be disappeared instantly. You can argue that they only disappear instantly because there are other people around.
Whereas there's other people.
Here,
Amaguchi's there.
Everyone's a human that's already aware of what's going on, so maybe Universal Control isn't caring? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I think this is the kind of thing that just doesn't really matter a whole lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's just me pointing it out, but yeah, I would say it doesn't matter too much.
So yeah, immediately before the end of one loop ago, we have this scene. And also, I love that chronologically we jump from 2065 to 1985 to 2089 to 2097. In the chronological order. So, if you're a first-time viewer, wow, that's confusing as fuck.
Especially since you're seeing, all these current versions in previous years with older versions. Like, I was in such denial of that basically Ida and Amaguchi were two different characters until the game basically spelled it out for me. I was just trying to force it to work somehow. Because, a huge part of the game is trying to figure out how the heck everything works. Until, I got all the information necessary. Oh, yeah, they can't be the same people. I'm just forcing it, thinking that, well, Juro got memory loss. Surely Amaguchi did too. That's why it's a different name. That did not happen.
So other than the flashback, we get this one scene, which is just lost in an abyss of unknown scenes. It's nowhere near anything. If we go to Juro's route, and we see... Okay, so this is post-contract. Post-gas explosion. Well, Sentinel summoning, but gas explosion. And if we go to Amaguchi, it's all the way down here after all of this. So he's already seeing Miyuki Inaba at this point, which is why he has the weird remarks about it. But anyway, do we have any final thoughts?
I think I kind of just said all I wanted to there. You always put me on the spot with final thoughts, and then my mind goes completely blank.
I'm surprised we only spent like 35 minutes on this.
I am too. I thought we had longer discussions than that, huh?
We have
I guess
for
time
some
flies.
of them. I think part of it is because we've covered a lot of things already, like voice acting and shit. So now it's mostly just commenting on the individual scenes, and there's a bit less of that now.
A little bit, but we still had a lot to go into, especially with that ending flashback. Again, that scene really stuck in my mind, because I guess it was technically the first big flashback to the future I saw since I started Juro's before I did Iori's. And the game constantly comes back to that event, or at least, that loop all the time. So that event was basically my basis for trying to figure out how everything worked. And every time I thought I figured it out, I would get new information that would contradict it, and I'd have to go back to the archives and start from scratch.
Yep.
And I gotta say, that was some of the most fun I had, just trying to figure out how this scene works. So I'm very attached to that scene.
We are 15 hours in, and we're still this early.
15 hours down, only 295 more to go.
Oh, you think I'm only putting 295 hours into this game?
There's
plus 15.
That's basically 310. That's my prediction. By the time we're done with this story, sans post-game, we're going to be 310 hours in.
Yeah,
That's not even close to the amount of time I put into Breath of the Wild, so...
Anyway, we'll find out how much time we sink into this game as we play more of it, and to do that, we have to end the video here. So, thank you guys all for watching. We're glad you got to catch up with the series. This is Hamburger Chariot and Mirth Mouse signing out. See ya, everybody.
See you then!